Now, sticking with Europe, leaders in the region are scrambling for solutions to the new challenges presented by the return of Donald Trump to the White House as the US president. From tariff salvos to aid suspensions and the halt of military and intelligence support to Ukraine, politicians, policymakers, and businesses in Europe are discussing what President Trump's New World Order means. And that was the key message of Nadia Calvino, the president of the European Investment Bank Group, as she opens the three-day EIB Group Forum earlier today in Luxembourg.
Last year, we provided 89 billion euros in financing, 90% of it inside the European Union, around 10% outside the EU, and with more than 14 billion euros invested through the European Investment Fund, which, as you know, is our subsidiary specializing in support to SMEs and startups through equity and guarantees. We have excellent results, showing record financing for Europe's energy security, including doubling of our financing for grids and interconnectors. Record higher risk investment in Europe's innovators and tech pioneers. The equity and quasi-equity agreements we signed in 2024 alone are expected to mobilize 110 billion euros in growth capital for startups, scale-ups, and European champions in breakthrough technologies. We also signed record investment for projects in cohesion and transition regions, which will bring opportunities where talent is in every corner of our union. Moreover, the EIB Group doubled its financing in support of European security and defence in 2024, and we plan to at least double it again this year to a record high. As you probably know, we extended our eligibilities, created a dedicated one-stop shop for projects in this area. We carried out extensive market testing to identify financing gaps in the value chain of Europe's defence contractors and conducted a roadshow across EU member states to engage with ministries and industry and help identify ambitious projects for financing. I can tell you today we're ready to do more. As I have already informed EU leaders yesterday, we will propose to the upcoming Board of Directors meeting on March 21st that the EIB Group further expands its eligibilities to ensure that excluded activities are more precisely defined and as limited as possible in scope. We also intend to embed the existing €8 billion programme into a new cross-cutting and permanent public policy goal. And this will enable the EIB Group to respond to financing needs in a manner which safeguards our operations and strong financial position for projects and investments in areas such as barracks and storage facilities, land and aerial vehicles, drones and helicopters, radars and satellites, advanced avionics, propulsion and optics, land border protection, military mobility, critical infrastructures, demining and decontamination, space, cybersecurity, anti-jamming technologies, military equipment, seabed infrastructure protection and research. We are currently assessing a solid pipeline of 14 projects expected for approval in the coming months in these areas. Just to mention one example, we are assessing a military camp in Lithuania, which is intended to host a German armed forces brigade. Because for us, this is the key priority going forward, identifying ambitious projects where the EIB Group can really make a difference. And that's why we're working closely with all stakeholders, including EU governments, the European Defence Agency, NATO Innovation Fund, to pool resources and maximise impact and complementarity. We will also shortly convene a meeting with national promotional banks to reinforce our cooperation in mobilising public and private investment in this area. Because more than ever, there is a need to join forces and have a coordinated approach where each institution focuses where it can provide most value added. And these changes reflect the EIB Group's readiness to remain responsive and relevant in a shifting global landscape. Europe's security hinges upon adapting to this new environment to make sure that it retains its strategic autonomy and leadership. that we master our own future. And as I indicated before, every euro invested by the EIB contributes to Europe's security. Through financing for large-scale investments in energy, the green transition, transport, research, social infrastructures, security and defense, new technologies, and strong international partnerships, we are contributing to a strong Europe in a more stable, prosperous, and peaceful world, as reflected in the wonderful video that we have seen to introduce the forum. Now, let me briefly run you through the highlights that we expect during the 3 days of our forum. To help frame the different panels, we will present later today the new edition of the EIB Group's annual investment report, which is our flagship annual overview of the outlook for investment based on the survey of 13,000 companies and the constant engagement with our clients, many of which are here today. The business and innovators in every region and every corner of the EU have confirmed that there are 3 main levers to boost Europe's competitiveness and security: market integration, simplification, and large-scale investment in innovation. Beyond the investment report, together with Commissioner Dan Jorgensen, we will lay the foundations for a new pan-European housing initiative to provide financing in 3 areas: innovation, new materials and building techniques, renovation, and affordable housing in every corner of our union. During this forum, we will also be signing agreements to launch innovative financing instruments for women entrepreneurs. It was signed already this morning in Spain through the CBNK Bank. To help a German innovator, Ineratec, develop new fuels that will slash emissions for air travel. To boost Lebanon's epidemic preparedness and improve access to essential pharmaceuticals for vulnerable populations. And I am really happy that Dr. Tedros will join us and we will be able to sign this initiative that highlights both the unwavering support of the EIB Group to multilateral institutions like the World Health Organization.